Trying to get everything set up here. Okay, should sound off on that one. Okay. So, now, live is on here. It's going. Let's see if anybody joins me in today. Give it a few minutes, see what happens here. Okay. So, it's saying there's one watching, but that's just my laptop, so. So. So what do we got in here right now? See a couple people in here. So I'm trying a whole new thing this week. Last Tuesday didn't really work out that well for the live. So I figured being middle of the week, kind of midday, it's difficult for people to be able to be on YouTube at that time. So I figured I'd be moving the live to Saturdays, like this right here. And so that's what I'm doing today, is I'm testing that out. I'm testing out Saturday lives to see how they do and everything. So hopefully if the live goes better today than it did last Tuesday, I will start doing the lives on Saturdays in the evening time, where people will hopefully be free to be able to relax and discuss Titanic however they want. So if you have questions or whatever, about the real Titanic or about the attraction, whatever, ask them here in the live chat, and I'll try to answer it the best I can. So we'll see how things go today, and hopefully, if everything works out, we'll start doing the lives on Tuesdays now. Or on Saturdays, I mean. Got something in my throat there. Now, I did a video earlier today over on the TikTok, but on the TikTok Titanic Truths page. But if we can get, excuse me, that TikTok up to 1,000 followers by my birthday, October 17th, then, because that's the threshold for TikTok, we can go live over there. And I can do lives over there, 2 or 3 times a week versus once a week over here and everything. So, I said, for my birthday, all I need is your finger. Go over there to TikTok, find Titanic Truths LLC, and just hit that follow button and everything. That's all we really need for now. And like I said, by my birthday on the October 17th, I'd like to see how close to 1,000 I could get. As I've said before, I have 3 TikToks, and one of them's getting very close to the 1,000. I only need like 140 people to follow me and everything, but I keep getting shadow banned with that profile, so it's very difficult to get them right now. But the Titanic Truths TikTok is where you want to go check out. And I said, and again, if you're not already subscribed here, go ahead and subscribe here to YouTube so you know when I do these lives here, or hopefully I can get back into doing regular videos soon. Uh, I made, if if you haven't seen Titanic Truth's Facebook, I did a rough draft mock-up of what the web page for reserving your rooms on the attraction will be, and everything. And there's a map. So the way it works is there's a map of the floor plans where all the rooms are, and you will click whatever room you want to click on, and a little pop-up will come up, and it will tell you what class, what area of the ship, what deck, the room number, how many people can stay in that room, what the max capacity of that room is. And then there will be a little calendar that will tell you these days are already booked, but these days are available, and you can select however many days you want, and it will give you your total. You hit reserve, the reserve button, another pop-up will come up and give you your total, and then a way to pay it and everything. And then once you've paid for your tickets, you will get a confirmation number, and you'll have to hold on to that confirmation number so that when you get to the attraction, you get to the ticket counter, you can give it to the people behind the ticket counter, and they can pull up your confirmation number and all of your information in the computer, and then issue your tickets for you right there on site. And but it's going to be your responsibility to hold on to those tickets, to that confirmation number and everything. Because if you lose that confirmation ticket, you're not going to be able to get a refund, because there's no way to prove you actually bought the tickets, obviously, without that confirmation ticket. So, to avoid somebody saying they bought a certain amount of tickets for, a large amount of money, and then they lost their number, can they just get a refund? And then just basically getting free money, it's not going to happen. So, if you lose that number, you will not get a refund. So you have to be responsible for your confirmation number and everything. So that is, like I said, you can go to Facebook, Titanic Truth's Facebook, and there's a mock-up of what the page will look like. Very, very rough draft. It's not very clear at all. Like I said, I'm still looking at land options right now, though. There is about 19 acres. It's right across the street from me here that I went to look at, but it's like, no, not going to work. While it's the right size, I don't really like the location, and the price was, for 19 acres, they wanted almost $5 million for it, basically. It was $6 a square foot. And when you do the math, it came out to just over $4.9 million for the whole lot and everything. There's 90 acres of land in a much better location just down the road for only $2 million. So, yeah. I'm still trying to figure out about the 18 acres south of town that I was originally, very first option that I was looking at. I'm still trying to, there's like no website or contact information for the property group that has their sign out there in front of the property that owns it and everything. And it ties back to a local lawyer, because there was it used to be a mobile home park, and it was a whole legal battle with that place and everything. And so it ties back to, so I reached out to him through his law firm website to hopefully discuss the property with him. But yeah, that one I've still not been able to figure out what the price on that lot is, if there's any restrictions on that lot, whatever. But and I said I'm not giving up though. I'm still pushing through. As I put on Facebook the other day, I know I've not really mentioned, the tickets and trying to sell the tickets right now. But, I've not forgotten. They're still here. I'm still working on all that. I've got some more, more personal matters that I need to address first and everything. And if my more personal issues that I have going on right now that need more attention work out the way I'm hoping, I might actually end up with some extra cash that I can advance the project even further. I might even get enough that I can go ahead and just build the full website and sell these tickets on there as they are. Maybe. But yeah, but like I said, that it's a whole personal thing. It has nothing to do with Titanic, so I'm not really going to get into all the details on that one. It's really nobody's business but my own right now. So that's all I'll say on that. But as I said, I'm still working on getting this place cleaned up around here. It's coming together. Hopefully soon I'll be able to get my workshop and everything set up in the back, and everything. So, and then I can move the big Lego Titanic set that I have back to the back room and start building that on live soon. Let's see. Asked on your Facebook post about the cosplay. Yeah, the cosplay stuff, all that. There'll probably be special events for that stuff, like during the anniversary or whatever. I responded to one of the commenters about the escape rooms idea, putting an escape room in the attraction and everything. And he talked about doing that on a Halloween event, and I don't really want it as a Halloween event. The escape room, I think, would be more like a year-round amenity that you can do. But I was thinking about on Halloween for 18 plus, for adults only, host a murder mystery dinner party where you dress in costume, in the period costumes, all of that. You will get a free, authentic meal as it was served on the Titanic, served to you in the dining saloon, and then of course the whole murder mystery part of it and everything. And then there will figure out some sort of prize, I guess, for whoever solves the murder mystery. But that's been one of the things I've been thinking about, some sort of Halloween event. Because I love Halloween. Halloween's my favorite holiday. So that's where I've been with that one. I said the escape room will be pretty much full time. I said, and as for cosplay and dressing up in period clothing, I said, there won't be no restrictions against it. I mean, you could do it anytime you wanted, basically. But I think it would be more centered around the anniversary week and everything instead, because that's more with what is goes on with Titanic. April 10th to April 15th, that 5-day period right there. So that's what I'm thinking. Like I said, you could wear costumes all the time, but the problem is with costumes is hopefully we're going to have not really actors, but like hired personnel who will be dressed as some of the cast and crew, kind of like actors. And so like, you don't want to get mixed up with them. Halloween's a few days, about a couple week or so after my birthday. My birthday's on the 17th, and like I said, I'm hoping people can go follow Titanic Truths on TikTok and get me up to 1,000 by my birthday on the 17th, on October 17th, so that I can do lives over there. That's all I'm wanting for my birthday this year, is just get me to 1,000 so we can go live over there. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at. But, like I said, I did a video the other day on trying to, make sure the ship part of the attraction is sturdy and can maintain itself during severe storms in this area, because we can get very, very severe storms through Missouri at times, including tornadoes. So, the masts and the funnels, if they're not properly engineered and designed and, fitted into the attraction right, they could very easily become damaged in a storm. So, I did a whole video on TikTok the other day about that one, about the masts are not going to be hollow, where there was actually, a ladder up the inside of the mast so that, like, the lookouts could get to the crow's nest and everything. They're not going to be like that. That's not going to be allowed, because that's a liability issue, and insurance would never allow it. So the masts are pretty much going to be solid. And it's going to be a solid piece of frame that goes all the way down and in through the ship and ties into the main structure of the ship and everything. And it's going to be the same with the funnels. I've kept a lot of the funnel casings that are inside the decks, where the uptakes come from the boilers up to the funnel. I've kept a lot of those. I've not really altered them so that, into anything, so they could still be used to secure the frame of the funnels at the base much tighter and protect them. But so there's a lot of engineering work that is going to have to go into this thing, of course, and that's one thing I'm hoping to accomplish with selling this first round of tickets, is to get the official engineering construction plans done so that it can be officially built. Because, like, given how big it is, all of the air turbine vents that are all around the deck of the Titanic, those are pretty much going to have to be built for real. Those are all going to be functional in order to help pump air into the inside of the attraction much easier. I said the closest building in size, as I have said before, is the University of Missouri Hospital, here where I'm at. And they do basically the same thing. They have the huge, the big vent turbines up on different areas of the roof that they use to pump air into the building, because the building is so large. So, all of the vents that were on the Titanic that was used to pump air inside the ship during the voyage will be functional to again pump air into the ship now. So, the one area where I'm still working to figure out, as I said in one of my other videos as well on TikTok, is with the air conditioning and the heating, as well as backup generators. Because I really don't want them outside, on the ground, where they mess with the visuals of the attraction. And like I said, in the video, I could put them behind the attraction, out of view, but then the rooms on like G deck on the back side, and even some of the upper ones, if they look down, you would see them back there. So it's a little, still, it's not the best. My thought was to put them like inside the funnels, like right on top of the boat deck, on top of the officers' quarters and all of that, and then have like some like fan that can circulate and pull air into the funnel and down to the AC unit or to the heater or to wherever, and get them some good airflow, get them circulating real well. But as I said in the TikTok video, I'll have to, that'll have to be discussed with some engineers to see how feasible that is, because that'll be a very tricky thing to do. But I said land-wise, as I was saying, though, I might still look at the big acreage of land here in town. It's like 90 acres for only like $2 million, which is, for that big of a spot, it's not bad. Because I figured what I could do, which really wouldn't be that hard. Don't mind the cars. The roads are so bad out here, people will literally avoid certain areas of this park and come past my place because the roads are that bad. But anyway, as I was saying, I figured what I could do is move the ship, instead of having it down the line of trees in the back of the field. I could clear the entire field out, put it kind of centralized a little bit with the parking lot right at the front as you come in, and then behind the ship in the rest of the field could dig that out and actually make like a man-made lake back there, so you're actually kind of on the water, if you will. So you could go up on deck and look out over the water and everything. And that's been one of my thoughts. Now, it probably wouldn't all happen at once. I would probably work on getting the actual attraction built, opened, and going first, get money coming in, and then add the lake later on, if we can. But as I said, have it on some sort of waterfront property. 'Cause I think that would be, that would be an amazing look to be up on the Titan. Of course, it's not an ocean view, but short of putting it up on the Great Lakes or something, or out on the coast, there's not really much else you can do. If you want a water view in this area, it's pretty much going to have to be a lake. That's about all there is. So, that's one of my thoughts. Now, I've also got an option for expansion later that would take and I think I've discussed this before, but it would take 10 units, 2 stories each, of the apartments, the living quarters for the Belfast shipyard workers, and where they lived when they were working on the Titanic. The apartments are still around today and everything. But it's kind of the outside is a recreation of those, but inside's a little bit more modern and up to date. But it creates let's see, what was it now? Oh, I have to pull this up here a minute. I want to say 3-bedroom. I think I was able to fit a 3-bedroom into it. Give me just a quick second here. Why that didn't want to open, it started and then it quit. There it goes. Why that did that. Okay, let's see. We're going to open. Give me just a second. There we go. Shipyard worker accommodation 10-unit optional add-on. Here we go. Come on. A little bit of information. Takes the file a minute to load up. Come on, you're almost there. Okay, there's that. get there. I don't care about the rendering right now. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah, 3-bedroom. 3-bedroom option. And if I'm going to take the phone down here out of the holder for a second to show you. Let's see. So, click the camera this way. So, here we go. So, this is the upstairs here. Pull this. Try to get this to fit into the screen better here. There you go. So, as you can see, there's a bedroom up here. It's got a closet. There's a small bedroom here with a closet, and there's another bedroom here with its own closet here. And like I said, there's every one of them is identical all the way down. There's 10 units in the whole thing. Now, if you go down to the ground level, you come in. The stairs are right here that go upstairs. Then you have your living room. You have a little bathroom, and then you have your kitchen back here in the back. And then you have like this old world antique wooden floor style vibe going on to keep it vintage looking inside. But that is the apartments as I have them. And I said, and here's the rendering of them, as you can see. I said, don't mind the grittiness of it. The frame rate between the phone and the computer is not quite the best, but yeah, that's the way they would look. So that's the front. If I click display only selected level, come on, there we go. So then there's the interior of, we'll zoom in on one. So yeah, there's the interior of what these things will look like. So, as I said, your front door's here. You got your stairs, your living room, got a little closet over here, and then your bathroom here, and then, you know, your kitchen back here. All of that. And so, that is how that looks. And then I said you come upstairs. When you come up these stairs here, you got 3 bedrooms each up here. So, you know, these will be able to be rented out like B&B style, kind of. So, yeah, that is, as I said, that is the optional add-on later on. I'm going to try and put the phone back in here a minute. Oh, come on, phone. There we go. Big phone and a small holder. It don't work very well. But anyway, that is, as I said, the optional add-on that you can build one of those. You know, the 10 units is one set. So you can build one set, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, however many sets you want to build to expand as big as you want to do. You know, and you could put them like on the back side of the parking lot or something, somewhere else within the vicinity. So, you know, that's one of the other options as well. This one, trust me, I'm really hoping it's built too. I said, as I told him at the meeting a couple weeks ago, a little over a week ago now, you know, while this is for the fans have helped design this entire attraction to this date. You know, most companies will go behind private doors with their advisors and their board of directors and all of that and plan out the business ahead of time and do everything. And of course, typically that can get things done much faster. You could get things opened within a couple years, maybe. But this, I took an unorthodox approach and I put it out to the fans. I asked the fans, if you could create your ultimate Titanic attraction that you want to visit, what would it have? And they did not disappoint. What you see with this attraction is what they told me. Okay, so it took longer to get to this point, but I think we've created a better attraction for it. And hopefully it all continues to work out as well as it has been going. And work can begin within the next year or two, hopefully. That's my goal, is to actually get some sort of physical work started within the next year or two. My 10-year goal is to have it fully open and going. That is my 10-year goal. So, because like I said, it's not just for the fans. Well, this attraction would mean a better life for myself. It would get me out of poverty, and everything that, I've grown up in. So, I say it's just, that's, so I said, while it is primarily for the fans and by the fans, it definitely, of course, would mean a better life for me. And as I also said in a video that I put out on TikTok earlier today as well, I'm also looking at possibly, I don't have an exact date when they could start sending them in or anything, but possibly taking resumes and applications to discuss hiring people, to work at the attraction. So, and like I put on the TikTok, we're gonna need tourist attraction personnel, hotel, the Turkish spa is gonna need spa people. We're gonna need restaurants, cafe, food industry, concierge, maintenance, janitorial, tour guides, ticket counters. I mean, you name it, it's going to require thousands and thousands of employees. It's going to require several thousand employees. You're looking at probably, I would estimate, a full capacity employee count similar to that of the full capacity passenger count of the Titanic, which was close to 3,000. So, because you're looking at open 24 hours a day and 3 shifts a day. So, and you're going to need several hundred employees for each shift. You had about a little less than 1,000 crew members working the Titanic during her maiden voyage, for a 5-day venture, and they had 24 hours, multiple shifts a day. So, you're looking at about those same numbers of, on the books working that day employee count for the attraction. So, it's going to be very, very tricky. So, and that was one of the things Columbia loved about it. They primarily loved the hotel aspect, because Columbia has a huge thing for hotels. And and they agreed with what I've always been saying is, with all the festivals, the concerts, the sporting events, everything we have here in town, hotels book up like crazy. So adding another almost 1,500 beds to town would bring money back to Columbia instead of going to neighboring cities, because everything here is full. And then, of course, they love the idea of more jobs in Columbia, help reduce the unemployment rate in town a bit, everything. So they really, I said that meeting a little over a week ago, I was actually very pleased with how it went. It was one of the most promising meetings I had had. One of the most promising interactions I had had with anybody. So, I know Titanic was half full of passengers. I don't know why that is. Yeah, there was crew and all, there was over 2,200. There was about 2,223 souls on board, crew and all. About 945 of that, I think, if I remember correctly, was the crew, roughly. I said, 706 survived, 1,517 perished. But, there were supposed to be others like J.P. Morgan. I forget. I think Peary was actually going to sail as well. Several of them. And they backed out at the last moment. Some, other things came up at that time, and they had to transfer to a different ship because of business meetings and everything. And then, of course, a lot of second, third class passengers, they had fears going into it with how big she was for that time. And so a lot of them most likely just backed out because they were scared. And, of course, we'll probably never know who some of those people were because we didn't keep records of them as well. Because I know there was already a good amount of second, third class, and even some first class passengers who were already, scared to death to be on that ship because of its size. And most of them, there were several of them that didn't even sleep at night while they were on board. They would sleep during the day, and then they would sit up at night because they kept having premonitions and something that something was going to happen. And so, I said but I don't think Titanic ever actually sold out at capacity either. I don't think they had a full booking to begin with their maiden voyage, because the Olympic had already made 2 or 3 crossings in that previous year, since Titanic was, and so the fanfare had kind of worn off by then. It was just another ship. So, I said the booking wasn't as solid as it was for the Olympics maiden voyage. But yeah, now of course, people love to get into those stupid conspiracies when you start talking about why people like J.P. Morgan skipped out on his ticket and everything. It gets irritating the way some of these people go about these conspiracy theories. I've even presented the actual Olympic floor plans in one of my videos on TikTok and showed all of the major differences between the Olympic and the Titanic, and how they were not switched at all, and that we have the proof at the wreck site to show that they were not switched. And of course, they don't care. You can debunk the switch theory, you can debunk the coal bunker fire theory, all of that stuff, and they'll just keep going with it. I've learned to just start ignoring it. If I scroll on TikTok and I see a video start off with, did the Titanic actually sink? I say, whoop, scroll on. Like I said, I don't even deal with it. That's why I started Titanic Truths in the first place. I mean, that's the entire premise of the name, Titanic Truths. I started this in 2012 as a simple Facebook page to dispel and debunk those kind of myths and rumors and conspiracies. And not even, within a year, little over a year, by September of 2013, I had my LLC license. I became a fully licensed LLC in the state of Missouri. And next month will be my 10-year anniversary of being in business. And it has been an amazing 10 years, a fast 10 years. And while I have been through a lot in that time, the fans have always been there. Let's see. It's because they were not pat on there. And the conspiracy theorists and stuff. I think they got some tainted milk or something when they were growing up, because Something stunted their growth. The conspiracy theory stuff these days is just getting absolutely out of hand. Everything's a conspiracy to people now. The only conspiracy that I believe is the JFK assassination. And it's not even, and what I believe is not even technically the common conspiracy. With the grassy knoll and all of that stuff. I think Oswald did it, yes, but he was a high-level marksman CIA operative. We have his military cards that show that. And we know JFK himself never wanted to be president. It was supposed to be his brother, but his brother died in the war, and so their dad pushed it over to JFK and everything. And there's just an entire ton of evidence that shows other. There's an original video from like the very next day when they're canvassing Dealey Plaza right after the shooting, and they swing onto down Elm and through Dealey Plaza where the motorcade came, and when they swing past this one stoplight, you can actually see a little bullet hole. You can actually see the light coming through a bullet hole in the bottom of the traffic light where the very first shot went through there. Because if you're going to try to take somebody out, you want to do it. You want to be as close to them as possible so you don't miss. And so, as the car was turning onto Elm from Houston, Oswald took that first shot, but the streetlight deflected it. Then he attempted the second shot, and that's what got him in the neck and came out right here. Then he went for a third shot, but Kennedy had moved due to his arms came up, and he moved due to this, and it went over his head, ricocheted off of the curb, and actually struck another man in the cheek. And that section of curb, the Dallas police actually cut out and put into evidence. It is still in the evidence to this day. It has been documented and everything. And then the fourth bullet, which there is audio from the police motorcade, bikes, and cars and everything, 4 shots. And the fourth shot is the one that came and hit him in the front, back into the, the Mannlicher Carcano was a high-powered rifle for that day, and if you're going to get hit at the front of the head, or the back of the head, with a high-power weapon, a bullet like that, inertia and momentum is going to carry you forward, not backwards and to the left. But as I was saying, the other aspect of it is, a lot of people say it came from the grassy knoll, but if you look at the angle of the street to the knoll, it would have had to have come in at this angle, not this angle. And if you look at the autopsy records of JFK, they document a small hole, part of a small hole here, like an entrance hole, and then as it goes, it expands and takes out the back of his head, out the back, as an entrance wound to an exit wound, carrying all the debris with it. And so, that's the only conspiracy I believe. So, we got a little off topic right there, but yeah. Anyway. But as I was saying, So, does everybody, do people think this Saturday Live is doing better? Should be able to move it to Saturday like this and do better than the Tuesday lives. So it was a massacre. It wasn't really a massacre. It was just a poorly thought out execution. Oswald was only supposed to injure JFK enough to get him out of office. That's why the first went through the back of the neck between the shoulder blades and came out right here. Just kind of paralyze him a bit, and everything. you know, and Oswald fired the 3 shots. The first one ricocheted off. It might have been actually the second one that hit the curb and ricocheted, and then the third one is the one that hit him in the neck, finally. And then there was a different gunman, unknown, who actually sought harm to Kennedy that was actually parked underneath of the triple underpass, and he had gone around and gone up on top to the train tracks, and he actually shot from up there, and it came and, like that. That's how that did that. Because as they were speeding up and rushing out from Dealey Plaza, a lot of witnesses saw a guy throw something in the back of a blue pickup truck underneath the overpass and take off. And so, that's where all that came from. But, yeah. So anyway, off JFK and all that now, back to Titanic. I said, so I'm really hoping these Saturday lives work out better. Because, like I said, Tuesdays, middle of the week, middle of the day, it's hard for people when they work and everything. So, I'm really hoping the Saturday lives work better. So, and like I said, if I can get TikTok up to the 1,000 threshold that it needs to go live over there, I can do 2 or 3 lives a week over there. I could do a live in the evenings over there more often and everything. And so, but I got to get that TikTok up to the 1,000 mark. But again, that TikTok's not even been out a full year yet. So, I've never been able to, a lot of people can start a social media thing and, they get a few hundred in 10 minutes and 1,000 within an hour and stuff. And I've never been able to do that. The 14-some thousand that I have here, which used to be like 16,000, took me well over a year to get to that point. It took me a good while to get to that point. And so yeah, like I said, that's what I'm wanting for my birthday, is to just get people to follow Titanic Truths on TikTok so we can get that up to 1,000 and everything. Because, like I said, if I can go live over there, I can do lives a lot more often. If I can go live over there, I might just do away with the YouTube, because YouTube's gone downhill horribly in the last several years. Ever since the adpocalypse came in and took so many people out, including me, the channel's never really bounced back. It's only works. They've lost their entire premise for what the site was for small-time creators to have a voice, be able to share what they like. And you can't do that anymore on here. It only works for the huge corporate content creators like Mr. Beast and PewDiePie and stuff. Smaller creators just don't get nowhere on YouTube anymore. It's a dying platform. Now, once the attraction is open and going and working, then hopefully can actually have a full line of social media platforms for the attraction. There will be a Facebook page, a YouTube channel, a TikTok. We'll have the full thing, and of course there will be things around the attraction that tell you to like, follow, and subscribe on all these platforms and everything. But and that's going to be another area where we got to hire somebody as well. Is we got to hire social media creators that will be able to make great content for those platforms on behalf of the attraction. Don't mind, I'm moving the camera again. Damn. Ugh. and that little tripod gets in the way, even though how small it is. But yeah, so like I said, that'll be another job that we'll need filled, is content creators. We'll need social media teams. Have 2 or 3 people for each platform. For a set for YouTube, a set for TikTok, a set for Facebook. So basically, it's called ITTube, not YouTube anymore. Because I remember when YouTube was, you could customize our. Oh yeah, you could. I said they've gone downhill so bad over here on or on YouTube and everything. And TikTok hopefully doesn't get banned completely here in the US. Is, so far much better. You get a much more direct one-on-one with the fans. You get a much closer, you get a much closer, interaction type relationship with the viewers and the fans on TikTok. The way like with the comments here, here I just can read it and say here what I'm thinking about it. But on TikTok I can click the actual comment, get the little bubble up here where everybody can see what the comment was, and then I can respond. And then the person who left the comment would be tagged automatically and know that I did that to their stuff. TikTok has a much more personal interaction feel between the creator and the fan, which I really like. So yeah, like I said, but with the attraction, there's going to be, as I said, people to do and of course we're going to have our own devices specifically for those. So you don't have like a boatload of different people logged in on multiple devices to the same TikTok account doing stuff. There will be like one phone just for TikTok, or one and then you'll have a computer set up that you can do the YouTube and Facebook and stuff, and have all of that kind of stuff like that. But yeah, that's what I'm planning on. And so having been looking around for land and everything, as I've been doing, and trying to figure out all of the things I'd like to be able to do if I could sell these tickets, I think the land might need to wait just a little bit longer. I might get these tickets sold, use that money to do the website and promotional material, and then get the actual engineering construction plans drawn up so that real construction work can begin. And then once the website's up and we're taking actual reservations for rooms and everything, then we can use that money. Enough rooms sell, you can use that money to buy the land and begin. Because a full maxed out 1 year booking gross is almost enough to pay for the entire attraction. Just the hotel aspect. I've done all the projections on what the rooms cost, how many people, everything, all the math, and 365 days of full capacity booking gross would be about $150 million in just the hotel aspect. Now, of course, that's going to be pretty much never happen. So, you're looking at, 30% net on the low end on a slow day, and 60% net on the high end on a busy day of that gross income after you take out expenses and overhead, all of that stuff. So yeah, and I'm trying to get in touch with John Jocelyn and the people who run the Branson Titanic to try to get in touch with them, come on board with them, get them on board with this project, And kind of what Columbia suggested was to create a Titanic tour through Missouri, where people could start, like down in Branson at that museum, tour it, do everything. Then if they want a more in-depth experience, they could come up to Columbia, stay on my attraction, and then from here I could direct them on up to Hannibal, Missouri to go see Molly Brown's birth home. And kind of create a whole tour through Missouri. But I'm trying to get in touch with Branson and all that, and they're very difficult to find contact information for. See, I never understood the term gross. Yeah, gross just means, your maximum amount, just the total base amount before you ever do anything with it. I don't know why they chose that term, but yeah, that's what they did. And of course, net is what you're able to net in and use once everything's done and paid for yourself. So, but yeah, I never understood the term gross either. But that's pretty much how that's going. So, like I said, hopefully, my goal is to have some sort of something physical, actual work-wise, other than these tickets, going within the next year or two. And within 5 years, hopefully, have enough to at least secure the land, have the land fully secured and have it started being cleared out and all of that, possibly. And my ultimate goal is within 10 years, hopefully before that, but within 10 years, have the entire place built up and running and available to the public. That is my ultimate goal at this point. So, and as I said earlier, I've got some, personal issues outside of all of this going on right now. But if they work out the way I'm planning, it will actually also bring in some extra money that can help advance this project along as well. So, yeah, but I said, it's very slim. I don't know how well all these issues are going to work out at this point. But if they do, it could help out with this project as well. But I think unless there's anything else anybody wanted to discuss, I think I'm going to go ahead and just probably call it for today, and then I will be back next Saturday around 5 o'clock or so Central Time, U.S., and we can do this again, and hopefully Saturdays work out much better. So I guess until next Saturday, I will see everybody then. So, as I said, subscribe here so you know when I start the lives, you get notifications. And I said, go follow me on TikTok, Titanic Truths LLC, and help me get up to 1,000 before my birthday in October. So, I think that's going to be it for this week, and I will see you all next Saturday at the new time.